President Trump, just the fourth American president to face an impeachment investigation.
At issue here, a phone call with the president of Ukraine that happened 2 months ago today. The White House released a 5-page memo of that 30-minute call. At one point, President Trump said, "I'd like for you to do us a favor," and pushed for Volodymyr Zelenskiy to look into Democratic rival Joe Biden.
The two sat down today here in Manhattan, one of several meetings President Trump had with world leaders in town for the United Nations General Assembly.
We have team coverage of the impeachment inquiry and reaction tonight. We start with News 4 government affairs reporter Melissa Russo live in Midtown. Melissa, where the president wrapped up that news conference just a short time ago.
That's right, Natalie. He took just a few questions on this subject, saying he preferred to address other issues like international affairs and the economy. But he was asked, though he did not clearly explain how it was appropriate for him to ask a foreign government for political dirt on his rival. Instead, he tried to undermine the Democrats. He claimed this entire Ukraine story was a hoax, timed to upstage him at the United Nations.
Impeachment for that?
With a mix of defiance and deflection, President Donald Trump dismissed concerns
It was just a perfect conversation
about the July phone call in which he asked the Ukrainian president to investigate Hunter Biden's ties to a Ukrainian gas company.
Democrats did this hoax during the United Nations week. It was perfect because this way it takes away from these tremendous achievements that we're taking care of doing. Also insist on transparency from Joe Biden and his son Hunter on the millions of dollars that have been quickly and easily taken out of Ukraine and China.
As 6 House committees prepare to investigate President Trump on a range of possibly impeachable offenses, the whistleblower complaint was sent to the Capitol late this afternoon. And as members of Congress reviewed it, the president tried to discredit the whistleblower.
The so-called whistleblower, the one that didn't have any first class or first rate or second tier information, from what I understand.
The White House also released notes this morning, not a verbatim transcript, about that 30-minute phone call on July 25th. According to that summary, Trump told President Zelensky there's a lot of talk about Biden's son, that Biden stopped the prosecution, and a lot of people want to find out about that, so whatever you can do with the Attorney General would be great. Biden went around bragging that he stopped the prosecution, so if you can look into it, it sounds horrible to me. According to the summary, Zelensky replies he's appointing a new prosecutor who will, quote, look into the situation. Today, Zelensky denied any pressure from the president.
I think good phone call. It was normal. We spoke about many things, and so I think, and you read it, that nobody pushed it.
No push, no pressure, no nothing. It's all a hoax.
And this afternoon, Joe Biden issued a statement saying, quote, it is a tragedy for this country that our president put personal politics above his sacred oath. He has put his own interests over our national security interest. He implored the president of Ukraine to work with his personal attorney, that's a reference to Rudy Giuliani, to manufacture a smear against a domestic political opponent using a malicious conspiracy theory that's been universally debunked by every independent outlet that has looked at it. Former Vice President Joe Biden pushing back hard against President Trump today. That's the latest from Midtown. Melissa Russo, News 4, New York.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Let's go to News 4's Michael George in the newsroom. He's been getting a sense of the reaction to today's developments. Michael?
Well, David, new developments are coming in by the hour. We're now hearing from Senator and presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren. She says based on the White House's own summary of the Ukraine call, President Trump has already admitted to impeachable offenses.
It doesn't have to be a quid pro quo. It's solicitation of help from a foreign government for his own political purposes. That is the smoking gun. It's right there in his own words. He's admitted it.
Right now, Congress members are reviewing the whistleblower complaint that started this inquiry. And tomorrow, the Director of National Intelligence is expected to appear before Congress. So what happens next? Well, there'll first be an impeachment inquiry. But here's something critical. Right now, 217 House members say they support some action on impeachment. That's just one vote shy of the 218 they would need to impeach. Meanwhile, Republicans stand by the president. They say he hasn't done anything wrong.
But the point of the matter is the president's actions in this phone call is not remotely subject to an article of impeachment. He did nothing wrong under the law or otherwise.
And Senator Warren was also asked about the theory that impeachment could actually help President Trump get reelected by energizing his supporters. Warren responded that this issue can't be about politics. She says it's about the Constitution. In the newsroom, Michael George, News 4 New York.
Thank you for watching this video from NBC4 New York. You can subscribe by tapping the button below me, and on the left you can see our latest updates, investigations, and digital exclusives. We'll see you next time.